In the ancient kingdom of Umora, where red earth met tall Iroko trees, and the air always carried the scent of palm oil and roasted yam, there lived a slave maiden named Ojiugo. Ojiugo was not born a slave. Fate had simply been cruel. After her father died during a bad harvest, and her mother followed soon after heartbreak, Ojiugo was taken into the household of Madame Nkiru, a wealthy widow known across Umora for her sharp tongue and harder heart. Madame Nkiru already had a daughter, Amarachi, who was proud, lazy, and cruel, while Ojiugo was gentle and hardworking. From sunrise to moonrise, Ojiugo walked. She fetched water until her arms ached, swept the compound until her fingers blistered, and slept on a raffia mat beside the kitchen fire. Yet, through it all, she never complained. What she loved most, what gave her peace, was cooking. The kitchen was the only place where Ojugu felt free. She cooked the way birds sang, naturally, beautifully, without effort. Her soups were rich without being heavy. Her stews carried depth as though they had stories to tell. Even simple yam porridge tasted like a festival meal when Ojugu prepared it. People often said, "This food tastes like love," but no one ever asked who cooked it. Madame Nkiru always took the praise, while Amarachi wore fine wrappers and claimed talent she never had. Ojugu remained silent. One dry season afternoon, the palace announced unexpected visitors. The prince Obinna, only son of the king, was touring villages on Umora with his guards. The kingdom buzzed with excitement. Women rushed to plait their hair. Men slaughtered goats, and every household prepared its finest meal. Madame Nkiru panicked. Ojiugo, she barked. Cook something that will make the ancestors dance. Ojugo nodded and went to work. She cooked ofe nsala, white soup so delicate yet powerful, seasoned just right. She paired it with soft pounded yam, molded perfectly, and added a side of smoked fish with uziza leaves. When the prince arrived, the compound fell silent. Prince Obinna was known not just for his looks, but for his wisdom. He had traveled far and tasted food from many lands. But the first spoonful of Ojugo's soup made him pause. He took another bite, then another. "This," he said slowly, "this food carries a soul." The entire courtyard held its breath. "Who cooked this meal?" the prince asked. Before Ojugo could lift her head, Amarachi stepped forward. "I did, Your Highness," she said smoothly. Madame Nkiru quickly added, "My daughter has been gifted since childhood." Ojugo felt something crack quietly inside her chest. The prince studied Amarachi but said nothing. Still, he finished every morsel. That night, Prince Obinna could not sleep. The taste haunted him. Back at the palace, Prince Obinna made a declaration that shocked the kingdom. "I will choose my wife," he announced, "not by beauty or lineage, but by the hands that cooked the meal I tasted in Umora." A grand cooking event was declared. Every maiden, freeborn or servant, was ordered to attend the palace. Each would cook, and from among them the prince would choose a wife. Madame Nkiru was overjoyed. "Amarachi, this is your destiny," she screamed. She immediately banned Ojugo from the kitchen. "You will not cook again," she warned, "not even water." Days before the event, something terrible happened. Madame Nkiru sent Ojugo deep into the forest to fetch firewood alone. On her way back, Ojugo slipped, cutting her foot badly on a stone. She collapsed by the roadside, bleeding and weak. When she finally crawled home, Madame Nkiru scoffed. "Good. You will stay behind while my daughter becomes a princess." That night, Ojiugo cried silently by the fire, believing her destiny had ended. As the moon rose high, an old woman appeared at the gate, bent, frail, and hungry. "Please," she said softly, "can I have something to eat?" Madame Nkiru chased her away, but Ojude, despite her pain, dragged herself to the kitchen. Using leftovers and herbs, she prepared a simple meal and offered it to the old woman. The woman ate and smiled. "My child," she said, "your hands were never meant for chains." She touched Ojugo's wounded foot. Instantly, the pain vanished. Before Ojugo could speak, the woman disappeared like mist. By morning, Ojugo's foot was healed, and beside her mat lay a simple but beautiful cooking pot, glowing faintly. At the palace, maidens cooked lavish meals. Amarachi cooked nervously, sweat dripping into her pot. Then Ojugo arrived, late, dressed in plain clothes, carrying her pot. Laughter rippled through the crowd. A slave? Some mocked. Prince Obinna raised his hand. "Let her cook." When Ojugo lifted her spoon, the air changed. The aroma alone silenced the palace. The prince tasted her food and stood up. "This," he said, voice thick with emotion, "is the meal." He turned to Amarachi and Madame Nkiru. "You lied." Guards stepped forward. Madame Nkiru and her daughter were disgraced and sent away in shame. Prince Obinna faced Ojugo. "Will you be my wife?" Tears streamed down her face as she bowed. "Yes, my prince." Ojiugo became princess, then queen, known for feeding the poor and honoring servants. And in Umora, people still say, true talent cannot be hidden forever. Destiny may delay, but it never forgets its owner. If today is your first time coming across our channel, kindly subscribe, like, and comment my lovies for more engaging videos on YouTube. Bye!